Hello, Jonathan Hensleigh, and welcome to 11 News. This is a very exciting time for you in the middle of a pandemic.
Yes, it is. It's very gratifying. The response to Ice Road was wonderful here in the States. It's unusual for me because this is the first time where I've had a release that's been both streaming and theatrical, normal theatrical distribution. So that's quite unusual. But hey, it's a different world now. So I'm glad that a lot of the international audience is going to be able to see the picture on a big screen because we shot it anamorphic 235 wide open with all the vistas of that grandness of the landscape of Lake Winnipeg. So I'm very happy that people will see it.
Yeah, the shots were absolutely beautiful. Sometimes you were under the ice, far above the ice. How challenging was it to get some of those shots? How did you do it all?
We knew it was going to be really difficult. We decided to embrace the technical aspect of it and not fake the movie and actually shoot it in the coldest part of the winter in the coldest part of North America. So Winnipeg is the coldest city in the world with a population over 500,000. It's colder than any place in Siberia. Lake Winnipeg, where we shot, I didn't really fully understand how cold it was going to be until I went out on a location scout and it was 37 below centigrade.
Gosh.
It was almost at the point where centigrade and Fahrenheit converge. And I've been around cold weather all my life. I'm a lifelong skier. I thought that I understood cold weather, and I did not understand this. And but we decided to shoot actual 18-wheel big rigs on an actual frozen lake, smashing into each other, for the first time in film history. The reason why this has never really been done in a film before is they weren't able to get insurance bond. But we thank goodness we had a thickness of ice on Lake Winnipeg, which allowed two trucks to be close to one another for all that shooting, and we were able to get that shooting done.
Yeah, so how dangerous was it? You had experts with you that would check that everything was safe for the crew?
Absolutely. Simply because, you got an international thespian superstar, Liam Neeson out there, and the pictures like this cost a good deal of money to create, and so you have to have insurance for it and everything. So you got insurance bondsmen out there and risk assessors and all of that. So yeah, they were all over it, and for me here, all of those scenes where the camera's on the actors, I'm just about 18 inches behind them in the sleeper cab directing them. So if the truck went in the drink, I was going down with the ship as well. So it was interesting, to say the least.
Yeah, gosh, did you ever think that it was possible for it to do that?
I had been out on the ice so much in pre-production that I got used to it. But the actors, when they came, I said, "Look, the ice makes noise, and don't get intimidated by it." But right when we were loading in out on the ice sheet, there was this crack. It seems to come up from the depths of hell, and it's as the ice cracks, and it just naturally does. It's nothing to be scared of. But that happened, and several of the cast members jumped on it, jumped and. I said, "All right, calm down. It's all right." It was really amazing, though.
Yeah, I mean, Liam Neeson and Laurence Fisburne, they're pretty tough guys, aren't they? Did they ever complain about the cold?
I'll tell you a couple anecdotes. The first day in the area in the film where Laurence Fishburne's truck is broken down, and the other trucks come back to start towing. That was our first day of production, and Laurence showed up, and I told Laurence, I said, "It's going to be brutal out there." But the temperature went down 10 degrees further. It was so cold that day that the actors could barely speak their lines without their jaws locking up. I mean, it was brutally cold. So I'm very proud of the cast for just soldiering through all that. And another one, that section where Liam Neeson goes in the water, that's him. And it was 27 degrees below zero centigrade the day we shot that. And that's actually him. Now he's in a survival suit. So he wasn't actually wearing a cotton, or whatever, but he's in a full survival suit. But still, for a 68-year-old guy to do that, it's my hat's off to Liam Neeson. So.
Yeah, and Jonathan, you've produced and written some of our favorite films. I mean, there's Armageddon, Jumanji, Con Air, Die Hard with a Vengeance, and now The Ice Road. They're all very different. How did you come up with the idea for The Ice Road?
There's a picture called Wages of Fear, which a lot of cinephiles know. It was by Georges Clouzot. It was a French film with Yves Montand that was made in the 50s about these four kind of ne'er-do-well guys who are assigned to take nitroglycerin across this mountain range. And I saw it when I was a little kid. I saw it on late night BBC when I was about 7 or 8 years old, and it just stuck with me forever. And it's it's a very famous film. And William Friedkin remade it as Sorcerer. And I said, I always wanted some way to try to do a film that was evocative of that had the same kind of spirit of that. These sort of loners out having to transport cargo across an incredibly dangerous terrain. And the idea just came to me to marry it with the Ice Road Trucker reality show. And it was just a marriage of those two, that old film and the reality show of Ice Road Trucker. And that's how it came about. And I thank God Code Entertainment understood what I was talking about and was willing to finance the film and everything. So.
Yeah, they're certainly tough guys, those truckers. And there's so many different themes in the movie too. You have determination, survival, and the love for the brothers. I think that was the strongest one for me. What did you see as the strongest theme?
It was the brotherhood theme. Absolutely. It was that most people who watch the film are taken by that. It's meant to carry the film emotionally. And I was insistent that we not cast a known actor for the Gertie character, because I didn't want the baggage of a thespian's career, a cinema actor's career, to invade that. And Marcus, who's been in a lot of movies, is not as well known. So the suspension of disbelief is increased that way with his disability. It's not like a Rain Man situation with Dustin Hoffman, or not that Dustin Hoffman wasn't great in that film, but you understand what I'm getting at. And it just increases the believability. And I'm very proud of Marcus for his performance.
Oh, he did amazing. And it was almost like a Citizen Kane Rosebud moment for me when he said, "my brother." It was just so significant, wasn't it, that he put those two words together?
Yeah.
Without any spoilers.
The film had a bit of I need to shout out also at that, because I was thinking about the bridge that was designed by Arv Graywall, because Arv tragically died, our production designer, right after the film. Yeah, it was sad, but Arv did a wonderful job. Without Arv's work, we could have never made the film. So.
I also, when I was researching, you heard that you'd started a new company, and then I watched the film and there it was in the opening scenes. Did you want to talk a bit about that?
It's up to you. I created a liquor company here. I didn't do it as a lark. It was not a hobby. I really was serious about it. I'm a whiskey aficionado, and I'm a bar owner. I'm a bit of an entrepreneur. And my business partner and I, Aaron Chepnick, started this company 10 years, and it's, to our great astonishment and gratification, it's just taken off like crazy. So we've really become a player in the space. And so whiskey lovers in Australia, you'll probably be getting Smoke Wagon bourbon soon. So
we'll have to look out for that. And to think you used to be a lawyer and only started screenwriting in your 30s. How did the segue come about from doing law to writing movies?
Well, when I was a young man, I was chicken. I was a coward. I was unwilling to just throw it all to the wind and just go out to Hollywood and try to make it. I wanted something safe. And so I became a corporate lawyer on Wall Street, and it sure was safe. It was also very boring, and it was, the compensation was good and my lifestyle was good, but I was still searching for a way out, and I just kept pounding at the door, and I sent some scripts out to Hollywood, and it was that kind of process. But it was one of those things where I could have done it when I was 21 years old, but who knows what would have happened. So my time on Wall Street sort of showed me the world. It kind of, I don't know, made a man out of me or something.
Yeah. Well, do you have any advice for any other budding screenwriters out there who may be watching this about how to get their start?
I do, and that is to not necessarily write what you know, not necessarily go to film school, but just focus on the films that you love, and regardless of what genre they're in, and watch them over and over and over again, and ask yourself the question why you love them. And if you ask yourself that question and can answer that, because of the plot, because of the dialogue, because of the kind of characters, it will force you into thinking about, well, how can I replicate this? How can I do one of these of my own making? Because I don't think film school can teach you that.
Yeah, and you didn't go to film school, did you?
No. Now, a lot of great,
don't need to.
well, yeah, a lot of great talents come out of film school, but I just think that to be a writer, you got to sit down and do it. You got to just sit down and do it.
Yeah. How long did The Ice Road take you to write?
Relatively quick. I did a treatment firsthand. I'd say I was through all the drafts in about 3 months, probably, 2 to 3 months in there.
Well, you're a seasoned professional, you know exactly how to do it, that's for sure. Yeah.
I have done a lot of these things. So I'm not done with the action adventure. I feel like I'm entering the third act of my career. I'm very, very happy with the success of this picture at Netflix, because Netflix is now, we're talking about more pictures, and I didn't know how I was going to like the whole streaming thing. But I feel reinvigorated by The Ice Road, and I've got a number of things that now are on the books. So it's going to be a fun next few years.
Jonathan Hensleigh, thank you so much for your time. And The Ice Road drops in Australian cinemas on August 12.
Cheers.